most entitled demand your family ever made of you. My sister Veronica called a family meeting to announce that I'd be donating my kidney to her husband, Blake. Not asking, telling. The surgery is scheduled for next Tuesday. Blake needs it more than you do. You're single with no kids, so if something goes wrong, it won't affect a real family. She'd already told his doctors I agreed, put me down as the donor, and posted on Facebook about my heroic sacrifice. I stood up, smiled, and said, absolutely. Let's go to the hospital right now for compatibility testing. She hugged me while our parents applauded. Blake, sprawled on our mother's couch, didn't even look up from his phone. At the hospital, I told the transplant coordinator the truth immediately. I'm being coerced. My family threatened to disown me if I didn't donate. The coordinator's face went dark. Turns out, organ donation under family pressure is a serious ethical violation. They started a formal investigation, but I let Veronica think we were moving forward. Even signed fake consent forms I'd printed from a random medical website. 3 days before the surgery, Veronica threw herself a hero sister celebration party. 200 guests. She gave a speech about how I'd finally found purpose in my meaningless life by saving Blake. She'd registered for gifts, a vacation fund for Blake's recovery in Cancun. Blake needed a kidney because he destroyed his own with steroids and unregulated supplements from his failed bodybuilding career. Not genetic disease, not an accident, pure stupidity. He was 38, unemployed, and had been living off Veronica's teacher salary while selling fake fitness plans on Instagram to teenagers. Day of the fake surgery, I didn't show up. Instead, I sent a group text with the transplant coordinator's report. Patient's family attempted to coerce donation through emotional manipulation and threats. Donor status, permanently ineligible. Further attempts at coercion will result in the patient being removed from all transplant lists nationally. Veronica called me screaming so loudly that my neighbor knocked to check if I was being murdered. You've killed my husband. No, Blake killed Blake when he injected horse testosterone for 10 years. Week 2, Blake's doctor revealed something interesting. Blake wasn't even sick enough to need a kidney yet. He wanted it preemptively because dialysis would interfere with his influencer lifestyle. He'd been exaggerating symptoms, drinking less water to spike his creatinine levels, and taking substances to worsen his tests. The transplant board removed him from the list for fraud. But Veronica wasn't done. She sued me for breach of verbal contract and emotional distress, said I'd promised my kidney and she'd suffered damages from my lie. She wanted $500,000. Her lawyer dropped her when he learned she'd forged my signature on insurance documents listing me as the donor. That's federal fraud. The insurance company had already started processing claims. In month 2, our parents picked their side. They refinanced their house to pay for Blake's private dialysis because the hospital banned him for verbally abusing nurses. Mom called me crying about how I was murdering her son, since Blake was more of a child to her than I'd ever been. You have 2 functioning kidneys and refuse to share. That's selfish. You also have 2 functioning kidneys, Mom. So does Dad. So does Veronica. Silence. None of them had even tested for compatibility. They just assumed I'd do it because I always fixed everything. I was the family donor, not just organs apparently, but money, time, energy, everything. Week 6, karma arrived via TikTok. Blake's fitness empire collapsed when a teenager he'd sold supplements to went into liver failure. The kid's parents were both lawyers. The supplements Blake imported from Romania contained banned substances that destroyed organs. The FBI raided Veronica's house during her book club. Turns out Blake had been running his illegal supplement business through her teacher's credit union account to avoid taxes. She claimed she didn't know. The $90,000 in deposits suggested otherwise. Our parents lost their house trying to pay Blake's legal fees. They moved into Veronica's basement, which was poetic since they'd spent years telling me I was the family disappointment. Last month, the truth about Blake's kidney disease came out during his trial. He'd been selling his prescription medications, the ones keeping his kidneys functional, to gym buddies. He literally chose drug dealing over his own health. The prosecutor called it the stupidest criminal enterprise in state history. Veronica wrote me from jail. She got 6 months for tax evasion. I hope you're happy. You destroyed our family over one tiny kidney. I wrote back, I kept my kidney. You destroyed the family by marrying someone who valued his biceps over his organs. Blake's in federal prison, dying slowly because inmates don't get priority on transplant lists. Veronica's teaching license was revoked. Our parents live in a trailer behind Uncle Pete's house, still insisting I'm the selfish one. My kidney, still functioning perfectly inside my body, where it belongs.